We're going to talk about stories that have actually happened out of business schools, stories that have happened in the recent past of young entrepreneurs who have dreamt big, made it happen, and are here to actually talk about their journey of the last couple of years. So to start off this discussion, and I'd like this to be a very interactive session, so please feel free to ask questions if you would like, and at least in the first part, if you have any particular question that you would want to ask, may I request you to just write it down and pass it down to me, or and then towards the end we can also just open up the floor. Okay. So to start off this discussion, I wanted to ask the panel about the process of ideation.
I spent about 6 years in Australia and recently moved back at the start of this year and founded a sports-based venture. It's called Lele Sports. And our main idea is to get more and more people in India participating in sports, in amateur sports. I think in my case, they were clearly two distinct things, two decisions I had to make. And the first one of those was the decision actually to become an entrepreneur. So even before we got to the idea, what will you do? It was, let's leave this corporate career, lifestyle, and everything we have going for us so far in life and take the plunge, bite the bullet, make it happen. I come from a service class family. My father, grandfather, had been in the government for the longest time. And I had somewhere in the back of my head for the best part of school, college, and early corporate life that, business is not my cup of tea. And then one day, the beauty of it all was it was out of the blue. I said, why not? And from that point onwards, the josh, if you like, to do something got stronger and stronger and stronger, and to the point that I'm back here now. I've founded Lele Sports. The company's still young, but a few months down the line, we've had several small wins. We've celebrated every one of those. And then there were 4 or 5 factors there, which was India, sports, business, lifestyle. So I'd pull it down to those 4 words, which kind of really drew me back here. And I've been back for 7-8 months now. And every single time I've thought of whether this is the right decision or not, I keep saying it's the best decision I ever made.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur right from the beginning because that's in my blood. My grandfather, my father spent almost most of their life being an entrepreneur. My dad is an industrialist in Lucknow. Recession came. I went to Austria to do a global business program there. And in the whole journey, while I was there in Austria, one of my Croatian friends, she gifted me a zodiac plant on my birthday. And that was the clicking moment, I realized. So that idea of gifting of plants again struck to me, and I said, okay, let's make a business model which will not just earn revenue out of it, but will also bring a change into the society. And that's how it all started. Started with a very small thing, barely nothing happening, just a small idea, and with growing up over the time, with a lot of companies coming up, a lot of people supporting the idea.
I personally think that it's always advantageous to have some savings in your pocket when you're starting an organization. So in that sense, maybe a couple of years of work experience, getting to know how business is done, that's always very useful. But putting that aside, that's not to say that straight out of college you can't start, straight out of an MBA school you can't start. And I think it takes zero capital to start a business. All you need is, your intellectual capital, your social capital, but you don't need a lot of money to start a business. So in that sense, you can start right away. I think people on this stage, none of us have very high capex businesses. So we started with minimal savings or small investments. By small, I mean, maybe a couple of lakh rupees or even less than that. Some of us actually started with zero investment. And so I think you can start anytime as long as the idea is strong enough and the motivation is strong enough.
I agree with Vineet completely. I have no background in any business studies in anything around that. I, in fact, started right after school. The moment I got over with my 12th grade, I had a very radical idea of addressing various issues. And as Vineet said, the drive was so strong that I knew that something had to be done about it. So from that moment till the 3 years of my college, where again I did not study business at all, I did journalism. Till now, I've been doing that. So I completely agree with Vineet. There is actually no right time to start a business. The moment you have an idea, the moment you're passionate enough about it, that you know that this is something that you really want to do, I think that's the right time.
I feel one of the best things that you need to start a business or to execute it is have the right kind of people around you. That could be your partners, that could be people who support you in that idea, people who believe in you. Those are things very, very important, because entrepreneurship as a journey is going to take you through various highs and lows where you will really question at night what the hell are you actually doing with your life. But people who support you, who believe in you, are very, very important to make you stay on the path. So the journey is finding the right people. And I was fortunate enough to have a right partner in place, so we could bounce off ideas and we could go out and actually implement it. But one of the things that people always forget is that there's no great idea. You don't have to wait for a great idea to actually go out and start a business. Even you understand what you have, where do you actually address the gap in the market, and what can you do, and actually take that idea and slowly improve on it, improvise on it, and grow it from there. Not everything that you're going to think about is actually going to work in the market. So you really have to continuously improve your idea. So those are things that are very, very important, and execution plays a very, very important role. So you might have a great idea, you might have addressed a great problem, but unless and until you go out and execute it, it's worthless.